Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in the arena. I'm fairly excited for this one because it's pretty much what I think is missing in DeFi content today. And I think something that I can uniquely bring to you because I like to go to an excruciating level of detail when I consider my strategies. And that's really the angle I want to bring to this show. So before we get into the fray, I just want to tell you a bit about the concept, and then we can get to it. So, key idea is I keep seeing podcasts where you have like 3, 4 dudes talking about protocols. If you're lucky, they will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this strategy. I'm putting I don't know Rappi ETH as collateral here and looping to do this and that." But it never gets really concrete. Like you never see a wallet, you never see a transaction being signed, you never see anything actually happening. Or it's fairly rare. So I really want to take the other angle on it, and you're gonna see everything. Uh, so all the steps, where to click to actually implement the strategy, but also I want to put a particular effort in showing you the before. Okay, what goes in my mind? How do I analyze a protocol, a strategy? How do I decide to go in? How do I track performance? How do I organize positions relative to one another? Um, Pretty much a whole thing. So it's going to be like my overall DeFi activity, except of course it's on a smaller scale because I don't want to to show you the wallets. But we're gonna be working with my so I have my ENS wallet, TokenBrice.eth, and I created a new address, arena.tokenbrice.eth, that we will be using for this little show. Um, on this wallet, I funded so far $3,500. Those are the airdrops over the last couple of weeks that I got on the public wallet. And the concept is that I will fund it with the airdrops. And because we need some form of predictability on this budget, the goal is to have at least 3,000 a month to invest. And if we do not meet that goal, I will fund the wallet through another mean, so we have capital to play with. Why this number of 3,000? Simply because I'm picturing 2 sessions a month, so we will meet every 2 weeks. And during those sessions, we will both open new positions. We will have capital to open up to 3 positions every time of $500 each. I think it's an easy way to simplify the tracking. And we will also follow up on the previous positions and decide to kill, to keep, what to do, follow up in general. So that's a high level concept. Let me actually share screen because it's more interesting than my face. Um, here. Um, so this we will get to later. Uh, yeah, okay. Maybe I should wait. Let me pick a tab. It will be better for the screen sharing. Uh, the only question I have is if I pick a tab, do you see the wallet? Can anyone in the audience Oh, wait, actually, I have another laptop. Give me a second, because I don't know how many of you are here. Can you see the wallet right now? I have my Ravi open. You should see the Arena wallet with not the debug, but the actual Ravi. I think you can't. Yeah, okay. When I'm sharing tab, you can't see it. So I will share the whole window because I want you to be able to see it. That's important. Okay. Yeah, I need to figure out the chat too because this is a mess with this restream. Mm, uh, okay, let's do it like this. If you want to participate in the chat, because for some reason, I'm not getting consolidated chat on restream. I need to set up something probably. But I will be following the YouTube chat of the video and the Twitter comments, so you can ask your question there. Let me then open it up here so I can see if there is anyone participating. Yeah. Okay. So up. Okay, so you can just react to the tweet. I have the notification right there, or put in the YouTube chat, and I will be able to see it. Now, let me fix that screen sharing situation to ensure that you can indeed see the wallet. So, okay. No, this is the entire window. Oh, I can actually check here. And you still don't see the wallet. Okay, I need to share the screen then. We will get to it. And now, yes, you got it. So you should be able to see the rabbit. So here's what we had with the board. I gave it a bit of gas. We will get into the gas just in a minute. And then what I want us to do also and to show you, because that's the point of this show, is to set up the tracking that we're going to be using for opposition. So, how much got in the wallet, positions we deployed over the weeks, and the gas expenses. And essentially, with all of that, we should be able to have the full performance of everything that we're doing. And yes, maybe for you that's some boring stuff. I'm sorry, but that's actually how you do DeFi at a professional level. So if you want to do it like YOLO aping, not caring about the gas, not tracking anything, that's your way of doing it. That's not mine. And keep in mind that my way of doing it was actually very much close to YOLO aping 7 years ago. But as I work in the space and I manage treasuries for DAOs or projects like the collective, of course, I cannot YOLO ape such a treasury. I have to provide reporting with an excruciating level of detail. I mean, I don't have to because most treasury are managed absolutely poorly. But because of my personal moral standing, I feel obligated to, and I do so. And I think it's informative. So let's get this set up quickly. It shouldn't be too long. And I kind of show you. I'm very basic in how I do things. No fancy no fancy. No fancy tool. It's just a G sheet, and we're gonna have just a few tabs, no fancy math in there. We just need to track a few things essentially. So how much money got in? We will do a tab for that. We will do a main tab, the position tracking, and we need maybe another last one for the gas. And I have a cool little idea for the gas, and then we pretty much set gas expenses. So that's pretty much how I would approach it. So money in, we just need to catch up on what has happened, which is the first refill that I did, which was on the first airdrop batch I was telling you. So money in, we have on, when was it? October 13, 13, 10, 20, 25. We have how much total? We have this plus $4 of ETH. 3733 essentially. 3733. We have those two takes to put here. So that's the bold and that's the ETH. So that's the dollar total, and maybe just to track also, oops, what I'm doing. Just to track also the actual assets that got in. So that's 0001 ETH. Yeah. 00 base. 01 ETH plus how much bold exactly? 3729. 3729. And that's pretty much all I will track in terms of what's inbound on this wallet. So let's clean it up a bit. Date, value, token, transactions. What the fuck is happening here? It's taking the link from the previous one. Okay, transactions. All right. So now we have our base for this. We will do the position tracking as we jump in. The only other thing I want to touch on is the gas. So for the gas, I've made the decision of using the Rabi gas tank for several reasons. So first, because I don't know which chain we were gonna go on, and I don't want to have to manage just balance of gas on 20 chains. So that's one, and that's a strong one. And the other one being they are pretty obvious about the airdrop now, and while everybody is rushing to do swap at an usury rate, thinking they're gonna make their money back with the airdrop, I think it's completely clueless, and those poor people are gonna cry really hard, but that's their problem. On the other hand, I do think that the gas account is potentially a decent way to farm the drop. So yes, okay, I need to account for that too, because the problem is I have a gas account already with $9.79. So let me just add it to the initial money in, plus 9.79 in the gas account. Fuck. Oh, yeah. 9.79. Okay, now we have all accounted for. So we have about $10 of gas already. Yeah, maybe we start with we will do a top up, but I guess for today, if we do only L2, that's more than enough. So we can actually get into the fray. So just to finish with the gassing, to include it here too. Let's just put before, because I'm not even sure when I put it. We don't need token and transaction for this one. Okay. So that would be enough. And with that, we are pretty much all set. I'm checking the chats, but I'm not seeing much. And then maybe the time is not good. It's okay, it's fine. I'm here for experimenting. So let's get into it then. I have a few ideas of what I want to ape in. Some of you guys mention some others. And yeah, we can also do some things that are. So I've loaded both the wallets. We have Arena and we have the main TokenBrice, because I want us also to explore potentially some of the social stuff. And the reason why I want to show you that is because I believe that if you are, how to put it, let's say if you are in the 5 or 6 figures range, probably your best return on investment is through the social, InfoFi, and prediction markets currently. So that's also why I want to give you an angle on that. But first, let's do some proper apery. So I have a special guest for today. If I can figure how to bring him in. Hello, are you around, Xator?
Hello, TokenBrice.
Hey, hey, nice. I'm
Hey,
hearing you good.
thanks for
So,
having me here.
of course. So we are here with Xator from Sear. What is it? Sear.trading, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Right, yeah.
You have to app.cert.trading. So
Yeah,
you can create on the top right. There is a
the launch
line
app, yeah.
chat.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys probably know Sear if you've been following me, but I wanted to give another shot because they've been doing cool stuff recently. They've been getting a bit of traction on some token, and it's an interesting protocol overall. So that's where my interest lies. But today I really want to focus, and I briefed that around this. That you will have just, because I want you all to be up to speed, maybe a couple of minutes to intro Sear. But then we're gonna talk about what strategy we do, and we're actually gonna implement one. So you wanna bring them up to speed with a quick 2-3 minutes rundown on Sear? That
Okay, let me try not to get them too confused.
thanks.
So basically, the goal of CERT is to provide leverage in a way that is safer than what is available out there. I mean, it just happened now, was like a few days ago that we had this huge liquidation event, and everyone that had a leverage in CERT didn't even feel it. Not even mention they didn't get liquidated, but their balances are basically at the same point. that they were when the price was equal. So that's basically the goal of SIR. And the way it's done, it's a new primitive, and I use it. It's a bit hard to explain, but we sometimes say it's a blend between perpetuals and options, and it's not really true, but it has components of both sides.
Nice. Yeah, I guess this is a good way to explain it. The whole everybody had a personal experience of this, of like, hey, you get some leverage, the price does some yo-yo in you back to your starting point in price, but the value of your position is actually got a decent haircut. That's
Yes,
that's pretty common. Um, yes, and I guess to add, so everybody has a full picture. Of course, nothing come without cost, and there is essentially a cost of this on SEER, which is SEER is essentially more oriented towards long-term trader, and this is reflected also in the fee structure. So you can see here in the vault that opening a position um, comes with a one-time fee that is paid at opening, right?
yes,
Paid at opening, yeah. Um, and so, of course, there will be a big question for us to figure out which one we want, depending on the fees. The fee might be steep, but don't forget that the leverage is convex leverage. So you can see here you have some. I don't know if you can see one of the tooltip, but just to give you some value, a 50% price increase, factoring in the fee, will result in 87% dollar value gain, 100% price increase, about 232%. So you see that this fee is, despite being decently high, is also quickly recovered if you were directionally correct, simply because of the leverage.
correct. Yes, this is the part that sometimes confuses people. Is that it is basically as price went up, we keep adjusting the leverage, but this contrary to other places, we do it in a way that it's really done on any micro price change. So it's truly constant leverage. It's not an attempt to be constant leverage. It's true constant leverage. So that gives you this convex payoff curve.
Yep. So looking at the top vault, where there is some liquidity, what's happening on this one, the CR to the 5? LPs are scary.
Yeah,
Scared.
this is a great experiment actually. So this is five leverage, and another part that people get confused is they say, "Oh, it's only 2x or whatever, 5x." Okay, but because it grows polynomial, it grows. You could say exponentially, quote unquote. It grows much faster than what people are used to. So these numbers look low, but actually, as price goes up, it's a very large leverage, and five is extremely large. And so what happens is that we can promise these payments to the leveragers up to a certain point because we don't have an infinite money glitch hack. So at this point where the system cannot provide any more convex leverage, it cannot keep the leverage constant, and then it reduces down to basically what usually happens when you do perpetual trading or margin trading, whereas the price goes up, your leverage, meaning the ratio between your equity and your margin keeps decreasing. So keeps increasing. So eventually, you're not getting that much. And so this is what's happening here, just because of the extreme leverage. There's no more liquidity to support such extreme leverage.
Yeah, it's logical. So the more extreme the leverage, the more quickly the liquidity will deplete as the price moves. If the price moves downward, it's not a concern because that means the LP are slapping that liquidity essentially. But no, if the price move upward, this is where the problem potentially occurs because that means the LP are paying out those gains and potentially reach a level where there is simply not enough to maintain the leverage. Um, so
And just to
looking
be
at,
clear,
yeah,
if I can say
sure.
one thing extra, even though the liquidity providers, of course, are paying for those gains, it's not like they are basically giving away all their capital. So it's a bit like in Uniswap, where they sell the token that is going up in price for the other token until they have sold all of them, and then they remain constant. So it's not like you can wake up the next day and you're like, oh, your capital is gone. It's kind of like an impermanent loss, but you're not going to lose all your capital. And if the price goes back down, you're going to gain some of the capital back.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So considering our constraint here, we are on $500, even for mainnet. I will stand by it. And so essentially, that means I think we will not fare so well as an LP, simply because the gains we can expect as an LP are more on the SEER token potentially, and not as consequential to enable us to recover all gas. So I would
Yeah, I would say
exclude.
actually
Yeah.
the punk strategy vol has been paying quite well.
Oh yes, yes.
Uh,
It has a lot of
so
incentive. Yeah.
that could be one option of as well if you
Yeah.
want to LP.
Yeah, you're right, and it's pretty balanced between LP and apes already. Um, so there are some people asking some stuff about arms, and I need to catch up. So we'll definitely go check the cooler loans right after, because I've seen someone asking for it. But actually, I'm thinking of going basic on this one, and I think if we want to take the best risk-adjusted trade, I would just go long ETH
Yeah,
with all
that
the
makes sense.
parameters in hand, where I see that I have enough liquidity that even if ETH teleports upward quite hard, I will be able to get my payout.
Yes.
So, so yeah, let's open up our first position then. But that means we need to bring some fund to mainnet, and just to show you, then we will need wrap ETH to open that position. So this is ETH. Yeah. Oh, let's do ETH so we save ourselves the approval. Wait, you don't. A little UI thingy. You don't
Right?
change the logo. Look.
No, okay. I guess we could do that.
Yeah.
Yes, we haven't changed the logo. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. So, so I'm going on Jumper to check the bridge situation because right now we have. Let's go back to wallet just quickly for those who maybe weren't here. We have bold on base, so we need to essentially swap and bridge that to mainnet. Up. And the good news is we don't need gas on the mainnet because we will be able to use the gas tank.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that means we can ape the full balance of what we receive. So the 0.12 something is. So here goes up. Here goes the bridge. The approval, sorry. Now goes the bridge. Ah, fuck. Nothing. There is 3 transactions now with that permit. Somehow it worsened the experience. I keep getting fooled. And so we can prepare also our first position tracking. So here, let's go. We are at the 16. 16, 2025. This screen is too big for me. So we are with $500. It's actually 500 bond. And here, yeah, I mean, we can put the transaction, but I would like to add a bit of context to explain our reasoning so that when we revisit the transaction later, we are we understand what we did. And we can even be no, we don't have the debug to track, so I guess we don't need it. So where is our reach? Pending, waiting for destination chain. Oh, right, successful. Next. Okay, so let's go back to SEER, the actual app. Probably need a refresh so SEER can detect my balance. Yes. So we will have almost 0.1 ETH, just a little shy of it because of those 17% inception fee. And essentially, what we'll be looking at here is, yeah, I mean, we will see how the piece price evolve. I think we will keep the position a while, but we shouldn't regret it. So now let me see if we can actually use the gas tank on mainnet. I think we can. Yes. I don't know if you can see in my wallet. How does it work in Ravi? Can I put it bigger for you? It's not so much bigger, I'm sorry. But for those who never use the gas tank, the way it shows is like, you see this little, this is the usual, like, hey, you're paying gas with your gas token. And this is essentially telling Ravi, no, hit my gas tank. So this is what we're doing because we are aping the whole ETH balance, meaning we have no gas remaining after this transaction, essentially. The ape position, they are fetched in dbank now, Xat, or not yet?
What is that? I couldn't hear.
The position, we will see it in dbank. I remember the LPs are, but I'm not sure the apes are.
If we will see it,
in dbank, is it processed on dbank? I mean, I guess we'll know in a
debunk. I don't know because I haven't checked on debunk recently, so I don't know. It's a good
okay.
question.
Let's. So it just cleared. It detected something on Ethereum, and then it detected nothing.
I don't even know if they have the new deployment addresses. I don't know if this is the old deployment.
So I will put the takes here, and just to show you quickly, the way it works is your leverage is represented on chain with a gas token, a token that is the ape token. Essentially, it's an ERC20. So it shouldn't be too hard to process on dbank, but it seems like it is not, sadly.
And you can always check in the app. You can always check it in portfolio. You can see.
Yeah. You're messing my flow, Xat. I was hoping we could track the whole thing on dbank. It's okay. I will make a request after, so they add it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So here we go. So let's check on the app just to show you now. But here goes our first position. If we go in our portfolio, we can see our ape is, and we can see some metrics. But I mean, we just opened it, so I guess another thing that I'm so is bull by default that I didn't even check the price or anything before opening it. But that would be a data of note to put maybe in our sheet for further tracking if we want to look at the performance uh, and how we fared. So there goes our very first apiary, literally.
Yeah, literally.
So I have a few more other idea I wanted to show. So oh yeah, the cooler loans. Let's do the cooler loans now. But is it mainnet only? Yeah, it's essentially they put the USDS available to the homies to borrow at 0.5% APR fixed. No price-based liquidity. Wow, that's pretty advantageous. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I'm afraid this is a kind of construct that where that on a $500 move, it's going to be really hard to find something that could work even with very optimistic assumptions. Just wanted to check that they're indeed mainnet only, or maybe they have made them available somewhere else. Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's mainnet only. So not for now. I want to keep mainnet a bit on the low side. So we have a bit more agility in our position, because on mainnet, like this year position, we might keep for 6 months, a year. And I want us to, have things to discuss and evaluate every week. So what else can we do? Another idea I had was simply to kind of also show you my process. I faded plasma hard time. I literally didn't invest, I didn't follow. So let's say no, I'm FOMOing on Plasma. So let's have a look at Plasma. What are the opportunities here? And if we find anything juicy, maybe consider bridging it out. Yeah, it's interesting. So all the TVL is already fleeting. What's happening? Is the token is getting destroyed? Oh no, nobody could have anticipated such a scenario. We are all flabbergasted with confusion and surprised. So it seems like we're already late to the party, but let's just check a few things to be sure. So essentially the top up are Fluid, Euler, and Avi on Plasma. So let's roll. Let's see what they have. Yeah, it's not even sexy. What the hell? I understand why the TL is fleeting. Okay, so Avi give you 5% on your stable. Hello, I get as much in my bank account currently, like literally. So let's go for something else. Fuck, I'm not sure of the URL. Let's do them through. Sorry, I'm on a new browser, a new profile of the browser that's set up for stream. I don't have my URLs. So now let's have a look at Fluid on Plasma. It's a bit better, especially on the USDT. How much is it paid? Oh, oh, what a pain! Come on, 9%, and you have to give me 3 tokens. Nah, I have better opportunities for less work. Sorry, next. And what was the third? Euler. Euler had a decent TVL on Plasma as well. I mean, then there is the loop and stuff like that. But for the first of the show, I want us to keep it pretty baseline. We can do some looping after. So what do we have here? Market is yeah. Plasma. Okay, Euler. Surprise us. Oh, you have a decent. How come it's paying so much with zero utilization? Because it's uh-huh. It's a bit better here, but nothing really, especially like risk adjusted. It doesn't hold. I will put it simply as that, you know. So here's my thought process as to why I'm confident in not having touched this. Um, I'm sure the people who got early in the sale did well, and potentially, as always, when there is a major chain launching, over the first couple of weeks, you had very juicy opportunities, especially in the first few hours. Um, but the current state is just simply not worth it. You know, if you think about it, it's an unproven network that is very recent. Okay, it has big backers and association, but I don't care. Track record is close to nil, and the yield are simply not reflecting that. Um, what do I mean by that is like, you know, if I take just a second of thinking, I find you a better yield on a safer product. First one that come to mind was 40 acres. If we check, so this is on base, which has a bit of a bigger track record, let's say, and we have pretty much, you know, the same as the exotic assets that we were seeing on Euler. We have close to 12% here. This is an in and out vault where you are essentially underwriting loan to VEIRO holders that are leveraging. Those loans are essentially extremely low risk because they're non-liquidatable, and also they are non-defaultable simply because VEIRO is producing a yield, and so the yield is used to repay the loan over time. And so what it means is the yield might get lower, meaning that it takes more time for the borrowers to repay, but they never reach a situation of bad debt, essentially. Unless IRO altogether stop working and there is no more yield. But so if I had to park stable, I'll probably do it in something like that over what we just had a look at. Oh, a blockchain. What's up with the resolution of? Oh, fuck! I just realized I'm looking at the stream. Okay, my bad. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to do some compromise. Uh, oh wow. Okay, so here's the dilemma. If I share to you the whole uh, window, it looks really small on the screen, but then you can see the wallet. Now if I oh, what's happening? Let me just clean it up a bit. So now if I share to you just this tab, uh, let me check on the stream, but you should be able to see it bigger. No, still not. Ah, is it because my screen is so fucking big? And like this?
I think this looks better,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Yeah.
Um, and it's cool to see you around, Blockchain. It's been a while. Um, let me check on different support how it looks like. Yes. It seems like it's bigger now. Good. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Feel free to give me those feedback as we go. So okay, now you can see the screen a bit better. Hey, oh. So we will use this tab for the sharing. Um, so honestly, while we're at it, and I give you the spiel, I would. I mean, we can park something here if we don't know what to do with the remaining budget that we have. We have 1,000 left to invest, and we don't need to do apiary with the whole budget. We can do some stablecoin farm, some investment as well. Maybe another thing I wanted to show you is this whole angle of the social file, essentially. The prediction market, but more than that, the Kaito and so on. Particularly one that I find interesting is, let me find the URL to be sure and show you on the screen, is Essos. Essos, it is Essos.network. Okay. And this one is interesting because it's not just going for the quantitative, it's going for the qualitative as well. Meaning the idea is to build a kind of reputation network, but based on a social graph, essentially, on people reviewing what each other, looking at their connection, the recommendation that they're putting, and when you are vouching for someone there, you need to put on the line some ETH. So there is also a form of stake. So wallet-wise, I'm switching to my main wallet, just so you can I can log in. I have an access here. I don't know if they're still invite only or not. I think they are not anymore. But if they are, I think I have invites. So yes, I have invites. I have two invites apparently. So if you need invitation, I can provide you with one. So what I find interesting on this ESOS is really uh, this angle of like creating the social layer of crypto, and I guess this is an overall broader reflection. I just kind of came to realization lately, and it's very simple. Um, I now evaluate InfoFi products based on the fact of, do I want to go see the website even if I'm not doing anything financially on it? And why is this important? Because look, Polymarket, people are now checking Polymarket just as a source of truth. As oh, I wonder what's happening with the election in Poland. All right, let's check the Polymarket, see who's favorite, because that's way faster than going on Google and reading the propaganda of various media telling you this and that. No, like here you get something concrete. So you see there is a use case of Polymarket that is not just the gamblers essentially, and I think it's starting to be similar with Essos because I'm finding, at least at my level, I'm finding myself following a bit for the soap, the drama, the knowing the pulse of what's happening. Um, so, oh, is it? Oh, yes. So, for instance, you probably all followed the drama around Binance recently, and you have a slash going on to Binance itself regarding their misleading communications on their fee practice, on their listing fees practices. And last time I checked, it seemed like it was going through. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to follow. People are anticipating the token. Maybe there will be one day. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sharing the good tab. Sorry, I'm not sure what would be the value of all of that. This is not necessarily something I would do for the farming, but more something to think about it. You can also just check your influencers there that you are reading or your protocol, and I mean it is a bit to be balanced. But you will get a decent if the protocol is an obvious scam or something really misleading. They will have a very poor, for instance, typically I thought of what is the latest shitcoin that sent me a token that I claim end up, and the whole experience was concerned misleading from A to Z, and I couldn't understand why the protocol exists. The team was over allocating themselves. The tokenomics was absolutely nonsensical. The project was nonsensical. Essentially, the whole thing shouldn't exist, and it's just a pure cash grab, and it's obvious after 1 second of research. Well, they are pretty brutally destroyed on ESOS. So I guess you see on the extreme, it works pretty well. To give you an idea, I think the base score is 1,200. So that means those guys literally got butchered. It's pretty much as low as you can go. What else can we think of? The problem is more when the protocols are not so well known. So like, let's take one that is well known, like a liquidity. I think should fare well. Okay, you have a positive sentiment, not too strong, but there. If you take a big major, it will be overwhelmingly positive and huge. Yeah, like an AVI. And let's say if you take a controversial major, what's happening there? Yeah, it's still, we're not seeing a lot of controversy yet. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt, but I wanted to bring it up because I thought it's interesting. And then if you want to actually get into the trenches, they have those daily tasks, and you can get around, build a profile there that could end up being a bit like Kaito, where a Kaito profile is potentially a tool in your DeFi career, can help you access opportunities, be it airdrops, but even just like actual jobs. Um, so that's for ethos. We will potentially use it if we have some reviews to submit, or yeah, actually we can include it in our flow once we're gonna, but only after we have used protocol, so we can review protocol in with actual practical experience of it. I don't know, Xad, do you have any idea? You still around? Yeah. Do you have any idea that is not sir?
So, did you mention me, or I'm not sure I
Yes,
heard?
yes, yes. Oh, so you sent me a message. I was just asking you before you go if you have
Yeah.
any idea for us of a protocol or something you saw.
Um,
Not sir, of course. We did
Not
that.
so much because I've been so focused on SIR that I barely like the only thing I've been looking at is into bank strategy and this kind of, but that's not so much DeFi.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting though what they're doing with the NFTs and those vaults. Maybe we'll catch up on it at some point. Um, okay. Yes. Um, so I have my backup plan of 40 acres, but I want to do something a bit more exciting as well. Why don't we do some poly market? Because really, again, with the amounts at play, this is kind of how I would play it. If I was starting from this point, this is also a bit the goal of this experiment. Um, where I need to log with this one though. But I think this is where you have the most upside on amount, like 500 to 1,000 invested. Um, So I'm just setting up the wallet so we can trade on Polymarket. Maybe I should have found the market to trade first, but we'll see. So I'm myself definitely not an expert here. You have some good people giving you the edge, but it's also something that you can trade with your common sense much more than the DeFi I find, because in DeFi it's complete, total, permanent psychological warfare at this point imposed upon you by all the big players to a disgusting level. And I'm being moderate here in my world because honestly I find it absolutely like I'm at the stage where I'm ashamed to associate with DeFi. I'm ashamed that this is my space and that I wasn't able to get it in a position where we are not just a bunch of prankster, and when we're not prankster, we are just literal scammer, manipulating, blackmailing people, doing all kind of shit just to push some coins. It's disgusting. And so it's also not just disgusting, it's literally destroying us. Because, what is the average experience of a dude getting into DeFi? He found some coin, he gets scammed, he gets drugs, he invests into something, they never deliver the token, he invests into something, they lied completely about the whole thing. Even if it's cheap, he doesn't get any fee. Or he invested into a token, there is a fee switch, but the fee switch is never turned on even 5 years later. It's all in all cases like that. And what's happening is essentially churning. 90% of the user touching DeFi get churned within the 3 months because it's a disgusting space in the current state. I know it's not super pleasant to hear. This is probably not something you will. It's not something we're happy about, but this is the state of the market. So this is why it's getting really hard for newcomers to find their alpha on DeFi. But on the other hand, trading the prediction market, especially if you start to have a system, could be something a bit more with more positive results for you. Simple as that. Let's not overthink it. Let's see quickly if I have any market that has something interesting for us. Oh, wow, they already have. What the hell? They already have a market for 2028 election in the US. Oh, what a world. The rock is given at 4%. Oh my god, imagine the timeline when the rock flip AOC on Polymarket for 2028. Okay, now I'm a bit sensitive with this one because I made a decent amount of money on the Trump election, on Biden not being candidate, on Kamala losing the election. I had pretty much the whole bingo on Polymarket. But maybe there was some luck. Oh no, I know what we can do better than Polymarket. Sorry, it just came to me. Checking my notes. Let's find it. Let me reshare the proper tab. Let's take this one. It doesn't matter. So I need DeFi Llama because I'm not sure of this one. But yes, is that the? Oh yeah, but it's not tracking the proper thing, I guess. Wow. No, this is not the proper limitless. Okay, just give me a second. I have it somewhere. So I wanted to show you limitless because it's another form of prediction market on a much shorter time frame. And it's also got on my radar because it's a guy who uh, brought to the public attention the listing fees of Binance and kind of man up didn't back down in front of the intimidation of uh, attempted by Binance. So I find this commendable and worthy of at least giving his protocol some spotlight, because I wish more people would behave like this in this space. My observation about the space would be corrected in 6 months if people started to behave like this. but sadly, it's actually very rare, more than common. Oh wow! So this is like hour based, pretty much. Uh, so we, yeah, it's every hour. Oh my goodness, this is insanity. So wait, if you go, what's the? Yes, okay. It's not really interesting, because we are so late in the hour, though. Um, let's see the expert. Oh, it's really like hourly market for every token. Oh, you have weekly as well. Will printer go brr in 2025? Uh, okay. Sadly, not too inspired on the markets. If you have one that you spotted, we can give it a closer look. Um, Let me see. Also, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I do want to deploy the capital. Uh, I need to find a better solution for the chat because right now I can't see much of you guys. Is this... Okay. Yeah, I'll set up something for the chat. Simpler for next time. That's feedback I get. If you have other feedbacks, let me know. And I guess for this weekend, to be conscious of time, I will just go with, and to mix a strategy too. We did one apiary, so we're gonna do some good, responsible family dad DeFi, so we can hit that 40 acres. I think that would be decent yield, probably one of the most decent we can find on base. But let's confirm that. I see the APR lowering. Are you guys already hitting this one in, or because it's not so big in size? That's also, I guess, why it's interesting in our situation. Because this kind of thing, someone cannot really hit that with like a million or so much. They will quickly dilute the yield. But if you're operating with like 5 or 6 figure, uh, it's not so much of a concern. I just wanted to check the. Oh my god, I don't like the new DeFi Llama. I'm lost. Uh, I've lost my habit. I guess it's well done redesign. It just I need to get used to it. Uh, so I just wanted to give it a quick yield check on base to make sure. Oh no, we don't need single exposure, but we can put audited $1 million. Solving API. Oh wow, what's happening on Morpho? I haven't checked this one in a while. Oh my god, give me the project when I click the project name, bro. Who designed that? What do those guys do? How come they... Ah, it's like it's a PEP essentially. That's why it's yielding so much. Yeah, well, why not? We can try it out. I know it's at least not obviously scammy perp. I am not so knowledgeable about it. I guess we can. Let's perform a quick check. Yeah, see what they are about. Okay, they have decent following. Uh, yeah, I wanted to check the mutual, but I need to log in my Twitter. I'll do it for next emission. So let's be uh, a bit more aggressive than usual, because I know them enough to know that the money will not disappear. So what I proposed you for this first one was more to set up the show. We will get into more creative strategies in the next one. Is simply we split the 1,000 remaining to deploy today, half in the safe option, which is 40 acres, and then another half in, I guess, the more aggressive option, which is the LP Vault. Let me just check what's the modality here. And yield, okay. Is there a delay to withdraw? Yeah, it's not exactly a delay to withdraw, but essentially if the vault is underwater, not underwater, but has low collateralization against the trader PNL, you get more fees. So like they're disincentivizing the withdrawal if the system is already at stress. Kind of makes sense to me. All right, so we will need USDC for both. So let's swap in. We used Jumper earlier, but this time we only need a swap on one chain. So actually now even let's do it the good old school way. So swap DeFiLlama.com, the aggregator of text aggregator. I mean, on this trade, there is not hundreds of routes the trade could take. It would be routed through Aerodrome anyway. But maybe there are slight variance on the venue. So definitely seems to be Paraswap. Let me just round it up a bit because I would love for us to have like close to us. How can we do by destination token? Yes. Chad DeFi Llama for doing that. Wait, what the fuck? Because they're doing very generous assumption. Okay, now I'll do it manually. This should give us just above there. So just to approve, I will use the gas tank as well. What the fuck is this slippage? Are you insane? 0.3 on stable swap. Okay, our approval is through. Now let's shoot the swap. And I will keep the dust so the position are easy to monitor. So we will put exactly 500 in each, and then we can just like watch them grow. Hopefully, I know they should grow. Yes. So let me get back to 40 acres. So I gave you the spiel already. I wrote about it on my blog too. You can check. But yeah, I find the supply side of 40 acres to be like an interesting. Oh come! I'm not connected. To be an interesting place to put your stable right now, because of the reasoning that I presented to you earlier. Essentially, it is arguably lower risk than a usual lending, even lending to an AVI or something like that. So don't make me say what I didn't say. AVI has Lindy, it's all blah blah blah, budget security chats. Yeah, okay, cool. But what I mean by that is, if you look practically at the risk you're taking here, abstracting protocol and things like that, but just the nature of the risk, your scope is lower here because of the absence of bad debt, essentially on this product, or possibility of bad debt, because the loan are collateralized by VARO. They're not collateralized very aggressively. They give them 32% LTV. And 32% LTV is not a number they pull out of nowhere. If you look at the average performance of a VARO position, that's not too far off what you can make on a year. So that means if a dude comes here on these 40 acres, even with a massive VARO, I mean, it will be limited by the liquidity on the other side, but a big one, borrows as much as he can, because of the yield of his position, he will essentially have recovered the loan over a year. I mean, they offer you Yeah, I can't show you because I don't have the arrow. Them. They offer you various options as to what to do with the yield of your VARO. You can use it uh, to repay your debt or to increase your collateral. But overall, essentially, you don't have risk of finding yourself uh, what the counterparty of what you lent to is underwater. So here we are with our deposit here. We are good. Let me go quick on Adventis so we can start the same uh, at the same time, roughly, a few blocks apart. Yep. Which one I'm sharing? I'm not sharing anything. Okay, wonderful. Let me share again. So this one. I always like to watch a list of countries that are listed in the warnings. It's informative. Anyway, so here goes our deposit. Oh, and oh yes, I just realized I can actually share this tab just for to show you more in practice what I was talking about earlier. So this is my Rabbi, and this is how the gas tank manifests the Rabbi gas tank. So you see here is the regular gas tank because I have a bit of ETH on base. It's offering me to use it. But if I click here, I will go through my actual Rabbi gas tank. And yes, so this is what we want to do. Even though we have gas on base, it's just simpler. Because then all our gas accounting is essentially, how much have we sent to the gas tank and how often do we gonna need to refill it. So now that we have the transactions, we can go back to. Sorry, that's a boring part, but that's the important part. We can go back to some accounting. Yay! Um, so I just want to have. I already put most of it. I just want to have the transactions. So sorry, it's on another window, but I'm just on the debug right now, fetching the transaction. Uh, we're gonna give them a name too, because it's gonna become a mess to figure out. So this is Adventis. Let's call it Adventis USDC. This is 40 acre USDC, and this one is Sear East Square. Where's the square? Yeah. Okay. So that was Adventis deposit, and this is the up. And yes, another one I realized we're gonna need two, because it's quickly gonna become a mess. It's a chain, because we're already multi-chain. And yes, here we go. That's pretty much it for deployment of the first one. So I'm sorry if there were a bit of quirks on the screen. I found the sharing that works proper now. I'll see if I have an option to potentially share the wallet on a separate sharing. I need to try out the setups. If you have any feedback about the show, please let me know. I'm trying things out. I'll ultimately have it running probably a bit later. But yeah, for that first one, I wanted something a bit intimate. I guess I got a lot of intimacy. And yeah, if you have protocols you would like to see here for the next time, feel free to shoot. And until then, I'll see you on